In 2017, we had 5 children. Our oldest was married. Our youngest was 6 years old. And life was busy. We were homeschooling, church, work, activities, just like most people, very busy. And, we began talking more and more about the majesty of God and how incredible and big He is. You read Revelation, it's incredible, just what you read about God. And so it really brought us to a place of, Lord, what do you have for us next? What do you want us to do? Billy, Lord laid on her heart to begin praying about adoption. And so we decided to put a fleece out and just ask the Lord to confirm it through have the word adoption mentioned in Sunday service. So that particular Sunday we went to church and David shared their experience with adoption in his sermon. Of course, we came home and we said, well, did you hear that? And we're kind of like, yeah. And, at our stage of life, we were still questioning, okay, Lord, is this really you? Yeah. And so we went along about a month back and forth, praying, thinking about it.
Yeah.
So we decided to throw the fleece out one more time. And so went to church that Sunday, nothing in the worship, no mention of adoption in the worship, no mention of adoption in the sermon. And it came to the end. We were at the North Campus, and the feed from the South Campus is normally cut off as Jeffrey got up to do the prayer request, but the feed continued. Jeffrey kind of looked back like, okay, what are we doing here? And David started reading the prayer list, and it said, there's a family praying about adoption. And David just looked into the camera and said, if you're praying about adoption, just do it. And then the feed went dead.
Yeah.
And we were just standing there kind of shocked.
Wow.
And just like, wow, that's pretty clear. And so we went home, and the next morning we contacted the adoption agency that had been involved in a previous adoption, and started the journey at that point.
Just a few months later, we get a phone call from the agency saying that an expectant mama has chosen us to be the family of her child. And in our paperwork, we said we were open to a child from birth up to 4 or 5, I believe. And this mama was expecting a baby just a couple of months away. And so we were looking at a newborn, and we were thrilled. I mean, it was an amazing experience. And we had the opportunity to spend the next couple of months getting to know her and hearing her story and sharing our story and letting her know about the hope we have in Jesus. I mean, we just really became like family with her. Come the middle of July, our precious little grandbaby is born, July 14th. And just 10 days later, we get a phone call that this mama that we have come to love as though she was our own daughter is in labor in Fort Worth. So we make a mad dash to Fort Worth. We get there, and she lays this little 5-pound, 14-ounce piece of her heart in my arms. And she trusts us to be her family, to be her mom and her dad, to raise her and to nurture her and to grow her up into adulthood. And that was one of the greatest privileges of my life. Now, if you skip forward 2 years, here we are today at 49 years old, and I have a spunky little 2-year-old girl dashing around the house, dropping her sippy cup and giving the stickiest, sweetest kisses. And I cannot imagine life being any different. I feel so privileged and honored that He would call us in our marriage and our family to bring this little girl home. And honestly, if He asked us to do it again tomorrow, I think we would make whatever changes were necessary to make that happen, whatever the next call is.